Marnie, if you just start by saying your name, your age, where you're from and who you are relative to us.
I'm Marnie Wall, I'm 17 years old, I'm from Whitley Bay and I'm the face of the Wonderful Wig Company.
Can you tell us a little bit more about losing your hair, when it happened, how it happened?
So it was about June this year, so like just before my birthday, and so my friend was sleeping over and I woke up in the morning after the sleepover and she woke me up and she was like, Marnie, Marnie, and I was like, yeah. She was like, there's loads of hair on your pillow, and I was like, what? And then I looked and then like my hair was like all over like my pillow and my bed, and then she was like looking around at my hair and be like, she was like, oh my god, and I was like, what? And she was like, there's a massive bald patch on the back of your head, and I was like, what? And then I went to my mum and we were like, what's this? And she was combing like her fingers like, through my hair and it was like all just coming out. So then she was like, go have a shower, then we'll book like an emergency appointment at like the doctor's. So I went in the shower and then as I was in the shower, like even more hair was like coming out like, on the floor. And I was crying in the shower, my mum came in and then so we managed to get an appointment like that day. So after we went to the doctors and they were like, oh, it's probably just alopecia, but they weren't exactly sure yet because it was only like 2 like little patches. And then, so they said, come back in a week if anything more happens. And then, so I went home and then I didn't go, it was in the holidays, so like, luckily I wasn't like at school or anything like that. And then each day I woke up and there was like more and more and more hair. And like every time I went in the shower, it was just more and more until I had like a line of like hair, everything else was gone. I had a line there and I looked kind of weird, so my dad just ended up shaving it off. And then ever since then it just never came back. But then in September, it like grew back for about 2 months. So I had like growth and it was like this much, so then that's when like the NHS like cancelled it and I wasn't allowed like vouchers or anything. And then it after about 2 months, so I was already back in college and my hair grew back, and then when I was still in college it like fell out again, and then just ever since then it just hasn't grew back.
Okay. How is that impact of losing your hair, especially in the beginning, what kind of impact did that have on you, your well-being, your mental health, that kind of stuff?
Well, when it obviously first happened, I wouldn't go out. Like I literally, when it was like had patches, I would literally wear like a bucket hat, like or like a woolly hat. I just, even though it was summer, I couldn't go out. And then for my birthday as well. For my birthday, I had no hair and I didn't want to like celebrate my birthday, and I was upset about that and everything. And then I ended up going to my like party without my wig on and everything, and then I was happy, and then I got home and I was still upset. I had like a really bad birthday, and then the day after that, after my birthday, who I was with at the time, I was with him for about 3 months, he broke up with me because he was like, he was like, I don't find you like physically like good looking anymore. So then like we weren't together, and then ever since that happened I just had no confidence until TikTok really.
About when it actually happened and how that made you feel. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you decided to not let it be you, and kind of how you're trying to overcome what the trauma that you've been through with your hair loss.
Right, so it was, I would say the time when I first was like alright and happy and wanted to like express it and tell people about it was after it fell out the second time. So I think it was about October when it fell out again, and I already had a TikTok page, but I posted a video of when I had my new wig and then I took it off in the video, and then that video, it like blew up. It just completely just blew up. I got so many likes and followers, and all the comments were like just good comments of people saying how like beautiful I am and everything, and it just made me feel amazing. So, and people were saying I was such a big inspiration, and then I think ever since then I was just like, oh, well maybe I shouldn't like care anymore. Like I am who I am. I can't sit around crying every day, being like, oh, I've got no hair. Like, so I just thought, oh, I may as well make something from it, and I just started posting more and more videos and about like, oh, I'm like I've got no hair, and making like inspirational ones, and then I got even more nice comments, and people were most of the time like if I was in the street and I saw like I was an old person, they would say how beautiful I was, and like yeah.
So it's kind of acceptance, isn't it, and
Yeah.
finding sort of support in the online community, do you think?
Yeah, and then like my mum as well, she really helped because she was like posting stuff on Facebook about me, and everyone was saying how beautiful I was, and then I just thought, what's like, I can't sit here for the rest of my life and be upset about like something I can't help, and so I just thought I may as well make something from it and try like help other people and help myself, and yeah, and then it's got me here, so yeah.
Okay. What would you say to other people in your position, so girls of your generation who are potentially just in the middle of their hair loss nightmare?
I would say to them at first, like at first it's hard, like you're gonna be upset, you're gonna lose your confidence at first, like it's gonna happen to everyone when like you lose your hair, you're gonna not feel like as best, but there's always a way around being upset. Like there's so much like more you can do in life, you can like to worry about, and like you are who you are, you can't like just change that overnight. Like even people without like with hair, without hair, like you are who you are. Like you just, I don't know really, you just can't go through life thinking, oh she's looks better than me, he looks better than me, because that's not you. And if at the end of the day, if you're not making yourself happy, then like what's the point in trying to be happy at all? Like I don't know how to describe it, but with hair loss, it's going to be hard at first and everything, but it does get better, and you realise, oh, I've got no hair, but that doesn't stop me from being like who I am, or beautiful, or anything.
What would you like to achieve in this year working with the Wonderful Wig Company? So, for instance, are you looking to just get the word out to the greater community? Are you looking to help people who might be going through it find you and help inspire them? Are you looking forward to having amazing hair? You know, what are you expecting from this year?
I think awareness is a big thing, because like sometimes if I'm talking about alopecia, people will be like, oh, like what's that? And I feel like it should be a thing that like everyone should know about, because it's just as bad bad as like other conditions, and it should be like, I'm not saying it should be like normalised, but it should be like a thing where if it happens, like it shouldn't be one of those things where like people should like not make fun of because of like they don't know what it is, but like I feel like everyone should know what it is in case someone like it happens to someone they know and they know how to like support them, or if I just think people should just know about it. And I think another big thing is like, because I still know people now who like they've had alopecia for about like a year or 2 years or longer, and they're still not happy like with themselves and stuff. And I think it's a big thing that with alopecia you should, or like any hair loss, you should be happy about it. Like not happy like you've lost your hair, but like happy as in happy with yourself. And I think it's just a big thing to not sit around and, you know, be sad about it. I think you should embrace it and like be like, this is who I am, and nothing I can do about it, nothing you can do about it, nothing you can say about it's going to change anything.
And are you, tell us about the difference. I know that you're really accepting of kind of not having hair, but obviously as a company we're going to provide amazing hair for you. Like, tell us how that's important as well. So like how some days, although you're accepting of yourself, some days you just want to have hair and feel normal, and how a wig kind of helps with that.
Well, some days I just like, I think everyone feels like, oh, I'm fine with who I am, I'm gonna embrace it and just go out like this. I like going out like this sometimes because it does make people look at you, which is like a good thing, because even if it's bad or good, you're still getting like noticed, like it's still good. But I think with wigs, it's nice to feel like you're not being stared at sometimes, and that, oh, like I'm just like everyone else. And I think with a wig, it really like boosts your confidence even more than how I already feel about like being bald. It really boosts your confidence and just makes you feel like even more like pretty, like, and it's just, and it feels nice on your head. It keeps you warm as well, which is a good thing. And I don't know, like, because if I go to college, some days I'll go without my wig because I feel fine. But like some days if I'm feeling like a bit, you know, like down, or like some days if I'm feeling like really like, oh, I want to feel really pretty, I'll put my wig on and I'll just go to college, and it'll just make me feel that extra bit better. And I know that if I'm walking around college, I won't be like town or anything, I won't be as stared at or like judged. And even though you shouldn't be judged for having no hair, it's just that like reassurance that like it's like a break from like being stared at, and you kind of just feel like calmer and